Neralita and Col, thank you for joining me at the Blues Hotel. How are we?
Well, thanks, Calvin. Yourself?
Fantastic, mate. Thank you. Congratulations on your latest release, Big Hat, No Cattle.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really proud of it. So we're really, really happy with this. It's our 5th album.
Yes.
And, I think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. No, I've had a pretty decent listen to it, so
Thank you.
it's good. Yeah. Your previous album,
Agave Soiree.
Yeah. That I see. That's hit number 7 or something on the Australian Rhythm and Blues chart.
I'm very, very proud of that. I don't know if I'm shooting myself in the footy, but I think it only made it to 8.
Number 8.
No, I'm going with 7. I'll take 7. But what we were really proud about was it stayed in the top 20 for like 5 months.
Yeah, right.
It just wouldn't go away, that one. We're very proud of that one as well. It was pretty hard to top that one. We had a bit of a theme with that one. With this one, we're back at a collection of songs.
Yep.
But we're very happy to be diversifying the sound a little bit on this latest album.
Right. Fantastic. So can I just ask if we can start by just giving us an insight into the history of the band?
All right. Gary, do you want to take this one?
Sure, no problem. So basically, Paul and I, we were watching Once Upon a Time in Mexico by Robert Rodriguez. It was soundtrack, really awesome soundtrack, really cool costumes. And I said to Cole, oh my goodness, how great would it be if we hadn't played in a band for a couple of years. If we formed a band along these lines with this sort of sound and this sort of look. And his response was,
that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. But we did it because I'm a very obedient man and because she is my wife. And so, that was about a little over 10 years ago. And we're just having so much fun. Like both of us had played in bands since we were teenagers, and I kind of decided, that's enough. And I was putting my feet up and watching a bit more telly than I probably should. And I think Neri didn't like that and just wanted to get me out there working again. And so she put this idea together, and it sort of went from there. Our brother-in-law's a very good drummer, got him on board, and Neri had a friend who's a dancer and singer, got her on board, and then we auditioned for the other people to come along, and we're really happy with the group.
Yeah, it was great. So basically, it was like we didn't intend to be a serious band, not that we're serious anyway. But,
I'm a very serious man.
But we just wanted to have a bit of fun because we hadn't played for a couple of years. And so we thought, you know what, let's just make this a really cool covers band. We'll do some Tarantino sort of style tracks, dress the part. And then Cole sort of used it as his muse to start writing again. And now we're doing probably 2/3 of the show would be originals, so which is fantastic. So it's good.
When she says 2/3 of the show originals, the difficult thing here in Sydney, if you're an original band, there's not many places to play, and you got to get 2 other bands and 3 bands together. You do a set each, and you can't overflog it as an original band. But because we've got the dancer with the costumes and the concept, she has ribbons, hula hoops, all sorts of apparatus that she dances with. And we've been able to stretch it out using the themes from Robert Rodriguez movies. Just 3 set gigs. And so we are just getting so much work. So we're able to do originals. We're making lots of film clips and working lots, because I've got mates who play just in cover bands. And, if they work more than once a month, then they're not getting many crowds. We're playing all over Sydney and we're touring Queensland and a few times, and getting lots of work and absolutely loving it. And because I don't think we take it. I think it's because we don't take it serious. When I was a serious young insect and I wanted to be famous and everything, I'm working hard, I'm doing working hard. I thought I was Bon Scott, drinking. Another great West Australian bloke. But with this, we're just taking it easy, having fun, and everything's just falling in our laps.
Yeah, it's going. I think that is the key to being in a successful band is actually to have some fun and don't take yourself so seriously. So it's just, we're really, really lucky.
Yeah,
it's going well.
Cole, you remind me of the from Dr. Hook. What's his name?
I was sure he was going to say Brad Pitt. I thought he was going to. Dang. But I used to get Brad Pitt. Now I get Dr. Hook. I mean, come on.
Where's the eye patch?
Yeah, let's not tempt fate, all right? Well, thank you for not giving me a compliment. I
No
appreciate that, Kelvin. Thank you.
problems at all.
But there was actually somebody who came up to us at a gig about 6 months ago. Said,
Yep.
"Oh, mate, you look like Doctor. You guys should do Doctor Hook." And they'd only just seen us. It was the first time we'd seen us. And I'd love you to come to one of our shows if you ever make it over to Sydney, because it's weird. It's bizarre. A lot of people are mouth agape if they haven't seen us for the first time. But what is? Because we're like, all dressed up. We got dance moves, choreography, and people are like,
It can be a little bit like a Blues Brothers show.
"Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like choreographed dances and, yeah.
but better uniform."
But better uniforms and all very tongue-in-cheek.
So I looked at this guy, and I love watching the crowd. You go, "Oh, yeah, they haven't seen us before. They just got goldfish up." And then he come up the break and said, "Man, this is unreal. You've got to do some Doctor Hook because you look like." I said, "We probably won't." But I do love Doctor Hook. I'm a big fan.
Have you ever heard of a Doctor Hook cover band?
No, but I tell you what, this may be on the cards, just a little squidge.
Yeah, jeez. So, where did the mix come from? The genre, your hillbilly.
I tell you what, Kelby, I believe not only are we at the pointy end, the vanguard of hillbilly surf music, but we invented it ourselves. So that's easy to put ourselves out front. Now, it's interesting because you look at our first album, and we recorded this because I wanted to make a short film, and we've done a Tamworth tour. We go up there every year. We've done 9 out of the last 10 years.
Wow.
And everybody kept saying, "Mate, you've got to get CDs." By CDs, it's 10 years ago I was saying that. And the CDs, they wanted. So we had that prompt to record some music. And I'd written a song, actually in WA, a mate of mine over there, Dave Wern, a couple of buddies, which was a bit of a joke song called Una Cerveza, por favor. And I wanted to make a short film around that. It's called Uno. We had to record the songs. So when we were going into the studio, we decided, we might as well write another one. So I wrote Painted Lady, and that was our first single, which went pretty well. Got to number 8 in the AMRAP regional charts. But so we sort of thought, we'll fill this out into an album. And it was a selection of songs and styles of songs we like. It was surf music, bluesy, old country, and some traditional country. And then the next album, we began to mix those sounds together. So it was the guitar tones that we really liked out of the 60s and 70s, mixed with different elements of surf music, blues, roots music, and country and western. And the second album was a bit more. Third album, we were so close, we developed the sound. And Agave Soiree, the album before this, was completely, we found the sound, the guitar sounds, the style, and we did a whole thematic feel with that one. And so we'd been building to that sound for 4 albums, and it was something we really wanted. And then with this, we used that sound to go back to similar to our first album, where it was a collection of different song styles that we wanted to play. So there's some bluesy ones on there, some surf ones, and some alt country things on there. There's an interesting version of Don't Take Your Guns to Town by Johnny Cash, which was on the premise of if Johnny Cash surfed, it would sound like this. So we were reasonably hard to pigeonhole into a style, so we decided to just invent our own. So as the third album was called Mexican Hillbilly Surf Music, that's sort of the style that we invented and fit right into.
Right. Yeah. So with the hat no cattle, what would you say what would you say the most interesting song on the album would be?
Well, out of the originals, there's only 2 covers on there. We did a version of a Lucinda Williams song on there as well. I believe I really like Easy Come, Easy Go. It's kind of a weird song. Like with the brief for that, when I brought this idea into the studio for the guys, and I had verse, chorus ideas, and I said, man, the brief for this song is we're pretending it's 1974. Colonel Tom's just given us a call. I said, Elvis wants a new song. Let's write it for the kids. So that's why, like Dan on the drums, he's given it a bit of a bossa nova thing in the background. Our guitarist has played that James Burton style guitar on there. And I put a bit of the King in there on the vocals a bit too. So it's a bit of a nod to the King. Finding out that he already did a song called Easy Come, Easy Go was a bit challenging for me, but it sounds nothing like his song. But so I find that interesting because when we finished it, I went, that is one weird song. And the more I talk to people at our gigs who've got the album, I say, you know what, the more I hear that song, it's my favourite. You know, the other ones I really liked first listen, but this one is strange. And so that's my favourite one on the album. And yeah, but did it tongue in cheek, and everybody in that everybody got to put their stamp on it. Shango will write an instrumental and he'll pretty much come up with the whole song will be written in the rest of the band will work within the parameters that he set. But it's pretty written, whereas I like to come in with a verse or a chorus. There's a couple I've written the whole way through, the lady earlier on, but I prefer to come up with, I've got some hooks, I've got a verse, maybe a pre-chorus. What do you guys got? What can we chuck in? I'll bring that in, and then we get to toss it around. Having said that, Shango will come in with a full piece, for example, but he does me the honour of letting me come up with the lyrics because I like to sing my own lyrics and let me come up with the melody line, within his parameters sort of thing. So that's really cool. It's a really good collaboration and a good indication of everybody's styles and what they like to play.
Can I tell you what my favourite song is on the album?
Yes, of course.
City Lights.
City Lights.
I just think it's got a really, really cool groove to it. And it's just like when you're playing it, it's just like, yeah, this is just like you sort of settle into the song and just groove along. And then it's got a really cool build at the end. And and it goes over really, really well at our shows. So that's my favourite.
It's nice bluesy sort of a groove and it sits and when it starts, we purposely let it just sit for a couple of patterns through to just let that groove really settle in before the lyrics come in. Yeah, really like that.
Did you test drive these songs before you released them? Did you test drive them in the at your gigs?
Yeah.
And they received pretty well?
Yeah. One of the main things we like to do is because, we're not, the major bands, they go, right, let's write an album. Somebody hire a studio for a month, and then they go in there, write an album. We go, man, we can afford. We're going in there to Damien Gerard's. We're going in for 3 days. One day is going to be mixing. And so we go in there, we rehearse the hell out of it, and we test drive them live, and that then we'll see, and look, we've never test driven something going, oh my God, throw that in the bin. They all go all right because we have reasonable taste in music. But if you're thinking, we're sort of losing them, that's a bit long, let's be more concise, alacrity, let's shorten this. But we always, and I think we're the harshest judges. So we're on the spot. You can feel it with the audience. You can feel when they're, whoa, this is blowing me away, when they're just in the mood for dancing, they're dancing. And so, yeah, definitely test drive and figure them out note for note before we go in.
An example of that, like The Missing Link, which is one of the instrumentals on the album, he does this incredible sort of fan veil dance to it. And so it's sort of like,
I'm a big fan of the veil dance.
So they're these huge fans and they've got like huge veils attached to them. And it's like completely mesmerising, absolutely mesmerising. And we played it a couple of times and it just seemed a bit long. You know what I mean? And also it's quite a physical song for Mimi to dance to. And so we ended up cutting that short as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was the long answer to yes. Yes, we test drive them.
Of course. So who does all the songwriting? Is there one person that does the songwriting or do you all collaborate together or?
Well, it started out just being me for the first album. But as I said, I'll bring in stuff to share. And Shango, our lead guitarist, he's really warmed to writing. So the last 3 albums he's written more than me of them. And so it's generally Shango and I, but with mine especially, everybody gets their feel on it. Sometimes I'd go around to our bass player Luke's place, and I've just got the cooey, I've got a bit of a song, and then he'll come up with a bass line. And that can, then we'll both present that as a united front to the rest of the band.
Right.
But yeah, mainly.
Yep. Okay. So you were saying before that you have been to 9 out of the last 10 Tamworth Country Music Festivals. Is that right?
Yeah, we love it. We're the point of difference. It's funny because we're so hard to classify. Like we played last year, we did Grease Fest, which is like a rockabilly festival. We did Blues Fest, not Byron Bay, Blues on Broadbeach. Up there, we've done country festivals. So we're a good festival band in that people like to discover us. They go, oh, you go to a festival and it's like a lot of blues festival here and a lot of 145, and you see something a little different, dress ups and that. And so they tend to like us at the festivals. I forgot the question.
Oh, you're talking about Tamworth.
Oh, yeah. So 9 out of 10 Tamworth. So, yeah, so we go up to Tamworth. Sorry about that. Kelby, I'm all over it, mate. Don't you worry about anything. I'll concentrate. So I can't remember why we missed one of the Tamworths, but we go up there every year. So they love us for a point of difference up there. We've got a residency for the last 5 years, I think 4 or 5 years at West Diggers out there. They pretty much book us before we leave town. So they're not deadheads like that, but there's a lot of Mezcaltones people who love coming up there, Tamworth, and seeing us up there.
Yeah, they do. And also, we're really, really lucky because when we first started playing Tamworth, we'd play like 3 or 4 venues, and they'd be all different times. And it's just like, it's just like you look at the schedule. Oh, where am I today? What time are we on?
And some of us get confused.
Always.
Not me.
Always. Yeah.
And, what outfits we're wearing today. I think it's because we've got like a vast array of outfits. What guitars are we playing today?
Can I just interrupt on the outfits? So Neralita is the boss, the driver of the Winnebago. Her indoors, she must be obeyed. So, of course, when you're playing at Tamworth in 38 degrees, and that's a nice balmy, cool day, it's generally black, long sleeve. The winter collection will trundle that out. But we've got lots of collection.
But anyway, as I was saying, I was really interrupted. So the last few years, we managed to get in at West Diggers, which is a fantastic venue, and they have us there every year at the same time, and we usually do 8 shows in a row, and next
3 till 7.
Yeah, 3:30.
3:37. See, I'm always early.
And people know where we're going to play and what time we're on.
The hardest working she had us one year, we did 11 gigs in 6 days. And It was, wow. Yeah. There was 2 shopping centre appearances that were only half-hour gigs, but the rest of them were 3-setters. She got a pound of flesh.
Anyway, we all survived. But
God.
The CEO came up to me, because Cole mentioned that next year would be our 10th Tamworth, and the CEO came up to me on stage after our last show and congratulated us on the last show. So there's heaps of people there and was cooking. And he said, so it's going to be your 10th year next year. I said, yeah. And he said, well, I better book you now then.
They booked before we even left stage. Usually they book us before we leave town. Hadn't even got off the stage. So we're pretty happy about that. And I just want to say this too. I'm sorry, I do go on. But we are looked after in Tamworth. There's a beautiful family, Greg and Leonone. They put us up there. There was one year we only had 5 gigs, and accommodation can be expensive up there. And we rang up. We'd met them up there, and through a friend of ours, we met the family and asked if they could put us up for a couple of days for this 1 5-gig tour, and they did. And they've been having us up there ever since. So we love you guys. Thank you so very much. Leone is the best cook you'd ever come across. Like most people go on tour, they come back sick and scrawny and worn out. I come back, I put on a bunch of keys. And so that's what helps us get up there every year. And frankly, I think we just go up there to see them. We love
it. They're amazing. They make us margaritas every night. It's so good.
Wow. Yeah. So do they still have the drug-sniffing emus in Tamworth?
Drug-sniffing emus. It's funny you should say that because, no, we don't have drug-sniffing emus in Tamworth. But we're a clean family band. They'd find nothing but prescriptions with us. It's funny you should say that. Now, I'm going to ask you why you asked me that in a second, but we were coming back from Blues on Broadway. It might have been the Grease Fest thing. They flew us up in the morning, flew us back in the Arvo, and they dusted all our guitars. I said, are you checking for bombs? They said, no, drugs. I said, why are you checking me for drugs? Oh. I resemble that remark. But, and we, of course, there was none found.
Yeah.
Do that. But tell me of the drug sniffing emus.
Yeah, no, I remember going back probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they used to have drug sniffing emus walking around the street.
Really?
That's my latest story I'm going to tell the tourists.
Yeah.
We got kangaroos down the main street. Watch out for the drug sniffing emus.
Yep. See, I'm originally from the eastern states. I'm originally from a little town called Beechworth.
Yeah, where's that?
Victoria, on the borderline of New South and Victoria.
Nice.
You know where Albury Wodonga is?
Yeah.
Down from just about a 25-minute, half-hour drive down.
Well, that's interesting because I need to ask you a question because last time I was on the border, you go on the Victorian side and they sell you a schooner, and you go, I thought we had pots here. They said, no, we're so close to the New South Wales border, we sell schooners. Then you get over into New South Wales and they'll sell you a pot. I can't remember whether it's Albury or Wodonga. Well, why you got pots here? We're so close to Victoria, so very confusing, that borderline.
It used to be pots. It used to be handles.
Handles, okay.
You know, the old little stuggy beer mugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like computer.
They were called handles.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yes, don't worry.
Soft
I've
drink.
got one here as well. I've got a.
Oh, that's good for you, that stuff. Yeah.
So yeah.
Soft drink kiddies.
That's it. So
Hey, we are a family show.
You're up, Of course you are. Yeah. So there's 6 of you. Is that right?
Yeah,
That's correct.
That's correct.
You want to go through them, darling?
Okay, so we've got
I can't remember all their names.
we've got El Shango on lead guitar.
Yep.
We've got Luca on bass. Got Mimi on dance, song, and percussion. Don Juan on drums, Colpatre on lead vocals, and Neralita on a rhythm guitar.
On our backs.
Well, I must confess something. When I did play Easy Come, Easy Go on my last show,
Thank you.
and I gave a little spiel on your bio. You think I could pronounce your names properly?
Kelvin, I get your name right. I can't understand why you would. The funny thing was, at least we're not doing a Garvey soiree, because no one could read that title. And it sounded like a really good idea at the time to call it Garvey soiree. And then everybody go, what's this, Agave Sawyer? Yeah.
Yep.
But so any pronunciation problems, you just call me and I'll help you.
I will, mate. It's pretty bad as well, because all these shows are pre-recorded, so the amount of time the
Edit.
Take 307. Col Schmadre.
So your live gigs, you have a signature opening tune before you get on stage.
Yeah. So we love this, and this is total wanker, and I just love it, because we have our tongues planted firmly in our cheeks all show, and I act like a rock god. Yes, I am. But the thunderous sounds of the theme to the Magnificent Seven will ring out, and then we give it 10 seconds, and we come out like we're stars. And the people who've seen us before, they know to go, woo!
Everyone's clapping, we're high-fiving, kissing people as we're coming through, and it's just like
shaking babies and kissing hands.
That's it. That's great.
And it really sets the show off. I might do a somersault on the ground or something like that on purpose, and it just gets in the mood. People who haven't seen us before, they're just going, what the heck? And it just sets the mood. If you come to one of our shows, leave your problems at the door, come on in and just hang your brain up on the hook next to your problems and just have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
That's what about. Mimi comes in last while that
she's got a big cake
that she comes through, and she's sort of like swishing around, and everybody's applauding her, like this sort of thing. And then the band gets up on stage and we play a spaghetti medley, and it's like sort of like old tunes from like.
Well, it's actually Ennio Morricone. We do a medley of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and For a Few Dollars More, and which is actually on our second album. And so we've gone straight from the Magnificent Seven, then we perform live, we perform that medley, and then we're into it. People get the idea.
Mimi's down on the dance floor. She's doing this big cape dance with a cape. So it's like that's the opening thing. We all walk out like total rock stars up on stage. Mimi's swishing around with her cape. Then we go into the opening number, and then
it's on for Young and Old.
And then it's game on.
Right. So does it just come natural to you guys, or do you rehearse before?
Yeah.
It's true. Yes, it's true.
No, you know what? It's just like, it was really hard to do at first, because we thought, okay, should we do this? Obviously, it's like one of those hello Cleveland moments as we were walking through the crowd. But everybody knows now. Everybody expects it. If we didn't do it, there'd be an issue. They'd be saying, what's going on? Why didn't you do it?
So does it come natural? For me, it comes natural, yes. Dan, our drummer's quite shy, so he just walks up and he gets behind his drums and he sits there. Lukey, our bass player, I've played in bands with him for like 30 years. He's a bit like me. He likes a bit of showmanship, so he's right into it. Mimi, of course, she graduated Sydney Acting Academy, which is kind of the Sydney version of NIDA. She's full professional performer. Nerry's got a bit of it in her as well.
And Shango embraces it, our guitarist. Everybody embraces
Shango is like, when we first got him on board, we found him on Gumtree. He was like a session guy. He plays with a million bands. We call him the koala. We found him in a Gumtree. He played in lots of different bands. And at first he was a bit, oh my God, what's this? But man, I tell you, he's embraced it now. And he's graduated the conservatorium. So he's a jazz, which is really nice because the jazz elements coming into stuff that we write is really lovely. And juxtaposition of different styles is what we really enjoy. But at first it was quite new to him, but he loves it now. Oh, yeah.
He's embraced it fully.
Yeah, I have fully turned him into. I broke him. Yeah, broke his back. Sorry, but that's true. Call him as I said.
Yeah. So with your live shows, do you have expectations from the crowd for encores or fan favourite or?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we have a little bit of interaction. We like to get the interaction. It's not fully pantomime, but it could be. Oh, geez, I'll write that down. Pantomime. Funny I could spell it. But what we do Ghost Riders in the Sky is one of our last ones. We get people to sing the chorus back at us at the end, and we have a dance competition. Now, there used to be a prize for the dance. We have a guy who won our first ever dance competition. We refer to him as the dance champion, and he takes that quite seriously, actually, and defends his title whenever he can. But it used to be you win the dance competition, you get a bandana or a CD. But now I've made special badges that say Mezcaltones Dance Champion. And boy, the competition has got pretty hot for dance.
I know. They all want one of those badges.
And the only way you can get that is by winning the competition, or you could bribe me because I'm the judge. You give me $50 and you'll win, and then you get that badge. But I have integrity. I am not giving it to someone who hasn't either danced well or given me $50.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
You've got to have rules.
That's pretty funny when we do that. It's actually a track off Pop Fiction, the Chuck Berry number.
Yeah, we do Chuck Berry number.
What is it? What's it?
You never can tell.
You never can tell. There you go. He knows.
So, so Uma and John Travolta, they're doing their cool dance.
Yep.
Mimi and Col are doing the cool dance. And then we get all the punters.
Yep.
That's it. You've just seen it live. Then all the punters, they all get up because everyone loves that song. And they all want to be the dance champion. So they all get up, they're all strutting their moves, and then at the end.
And they do a great job.
Cole will announce the dance champion who is won, and then they go and get their badge off our beautiful merch girl, Jodie.
Fantastic.
It's fun. Yeah. So there is a lot of interaction, and, it's just fun. One of our gigs, we have a residency at the Orient Hotel in the Rocks. We play there one Sunday a month. And when we first started there, it's pretty quiet, but because the Rocks is a touristy area in Sydney, people walk past and go, oh my God, what the heck's going on? And they come. And we've been doing that for a few years now. And by the third set now, you cannot move in there. It's a small pub. And it just reminds me of the old school days when every pub had a band in the corner, and you're just there like this. And they're all into it. They know when the dance competition's going to be on. They know when there's a couple of songs we get them to sing along with now that I think about it. And that is the craziest vibe. If you come to Sydney, you've got to come to one of those shows because we do bigger venues up on the stage. With this, you're just crammed in the corner and people are right there, and it's
like the Wild Wild West. It's like a saloon bar. It's like mad. Like because you're in there and you're playing, and then there's people like
there
2 feet, 18 inches, like it's just jam packed right in front of you, and you're like,
and don't be off put when she says it's like the Wild West. It's not like chairs busting on people's heads and people slid along the bar by the head.
Have you ever seen
not every time.
Have you ever seen the movie A Million Ways to Die in the West?
I love that movie. Yeah, Million Ways to Die at a Mezcaltone. There's probably only 5, but who's counting?
It's a bit mad because also, along with the Tarantino vibe, we do Misrulu, and Cole and Mimi do this opening scene like that. It's in the cafe that they do it.
Oh,
in the movie.
Yeah, when the guy gets up on the table and goes, "Nobody move, that's a robbery." So I'll just jump up on someone's table, spill their drinks.
In the middle of the bar.
"Nobody move, that's a robbery." And then Mimi does the repeat line, but without the swearing.
No
Family show.
No swearing. We are a family show.
Oh,
Then just like the crowd love it. They just go crazy. So.
Wow, no. Probably the most asked question, and you'll probably get sick of hearing it. Who are your influences when it comes to your music playing? Like, obviously, you've got your Mexican hillbilly, your surf rock, your alt country.
Wow, it's tough for me. I think the good thing about this band is everybody's got their own styles that they grew up listening to. I mean, what we love is the mixture of music, like how you got your different styles that come together to form another style. For me, I've always liked rebel music, so I like the badass blues players. I even like reggae because they were rebels. Like my favourite period of country and western music was when Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, those sorts of rebels. So anybody who was bad and brought rebellion or change to music works for me, and I have a really open, I like all sorts of music, like except for gangster rap. I can't handle fantasizing murder and objectifying women, but everything else, just love it, and putting it together. Mango he's got a lot of jazz and blues artists that have made him the guitarist he is. Neri, what are your stuff do you like?
Well, I think what's influenced this band is sort of like Los Lobos and
they're a great band.
Tito and Tarantula. Because when the band first started, we were quite swampy. It was like a swampy sort of sound. And then, Chris Isaac, and then a bit of like Link Ray.
Oh, I love Link Ray.
So it's quite a mixture.
Yep. So have you ever heard of Moonshine Bandits?
I will. I'm going to have a look at them after we get off the air with you.
Yep. They've got an album called Women and Whiskey. That was I think that was their breakthrough album.
That rings a bell, actually. Because I've drunk whiskey and I know some. I mean, I'm married, but I can still drink whiskey.
They've been branded as the type of country music your grandmother wouldn't listen to.
We're not like that because we have little kiddies, and I tell you what's really interesting. A lot of our gigs are Sunday arvos. It's kind of fun time Sunday arvo, and there's a lot of parents with their kids, and you should see the little girls. They just they mirror Mimi's dance moves. They're doing all this stuff, and she's got a little crew of them. At the last gig, there was about 5 of them that were doing all her dances. She got them up on stage dancing with her. I'm probably the bloke that you don't want to bring home to meet your grandmother, but because, if I was single, I'd probably, chat her up, but I'm not. But with our shows, I tell really bad jokes and there's no swearing, nothing like that.
They're dad jokes.
They're not dad jokes. They're good jokes that aren't funny.
Bear jokes.
That's what they are, yeah. So we do try and keep it family friendly because we go over well with the kids. Yep. Same mentality as me.
Geez, wow. Okay. All right. Now I've got probably one last question to go before I let you go. If you had the opportunity to bring somebody back from the past and they were a musician, you wanted to play with them in a band or something, who would it be?
I wish you told us this before we went on air. Geez, that's a tough one. Jeepers creepers. Oh, sorry. One man. The King, baby.
The King.
Yeah, and I'd bring him back before he met Colonel Tom, and I'd say, mate, stay away from this dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you seen that Elvis movie that reveals how a horrible person Colonel Tom was and how he just manipulated the King? And I used to be an Elvis impersonator in another band, band, but I just absolutely love him, and I just feel how different it would have been if he had toured the world, how you know, I think it was so sad the way he died, the love for his mother, and how Colonel Tom manipulated that. I would love to see the King. I'm getting a bit misty-eyed now. What about you, love?
I'm just trying to think because there's a lot of artists that I really, really like, but I don't think they've passed. I'm just trying to.
She's very young, my wife. Which Wiggle isn't well? Sorry, love.
Pink one.
No, sorry.
I'm sorry. I hope he is okay. Kids. I hope he's okay, or she. I don't know.
Just so
Wiggles-
I'm thinking of like the
Wiggles-
artists. Say again?
The Wiggles aren't really the Wiggles anymore, though, are they?
No,
Not really. They were up in Tamworth last time we played there. Yeah, they did a bit of a show up there. And I could see no difference between the Wiggles and us. They dressed up like cowboys. I'm not really a cowboy, neither are the Wiggles. This might come as a shock. I'm not really a cowboy. I've been dressing like a cowboy since I was 7, and I'm not stopping now.
Wow. You got the holster and everything else to go with it?
No, I don't. But I do hitch my thumbs in my belt.
he's got a belt buckle that says Col.
It says Col. Wow.
I should be wearing it right now, but I'm actually just wearing my boxers from the waist down. I'm going to put this back on you while Neralita tries to think of someone. Who would you bring back?
Mate, who would I bring back? Jeez, you've definitely put
It's
me
a
in.
toughie, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I was thinking of saying Johnny.
Johnny Cash or BB King?
Oh, yeah. BB King. I was thinking of BB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it to join the band or just bring them back?
Oh, to join the band? I'm not getting the King. I'd be out of a job. I'd have to play guitar or something. I wouldn't have a guitarist as crap as me in the band.
But I was thinking of somebody like Loretta Lynn or Patsy Cline or something,
Yeah.
somebody like that.
Right.
That's what I was thinking of. But
What if you had the opportunity now to collaborate with anybody?
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson?
oh, yeah.
Johnson, actually. Let's go all the way back. I love a man who can do blues and not go to the fifth note, you know. It just bounced between that 1 and 4, and he'd have 14 songs if he hung out with me.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary on him?
No, but I will. Sounds good.
Yeah. See, I've only been like interested in the blues genre for probably I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, and I've
Okay.
only just found out not long ago about the story how he apparently sold his soul to the devil.
Have you not seen the movie Crossroads?
No, I haven't. No.
You've got to see that. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I was brought up on similar music, Johnny Cash. I was brought up Johnny Cash, Easy Beats, Muddy Waters. My old man was an Elvis freak.
Yeah, Elvis he's the king, man. Muddy
Yeah.
Waters, awesome.
Yeah.
Kelvin,
Yeah.
can I just say something? If you haven't seen Crossroads, why don't you should just Google or just look on YouTube and look up the guitar duel between Steve Vai and Ry Cooder.
Yeah, right, Cooter plays.
Ry Cooder's not in it, but he the kid who is pretending
I
to
wouldn't
play Ry Cooder.
watch the whole movie. Don't just Google that, because that's at the end, and it's good versus evil in a guitar format. And
Right.
frankly, I think the devil won that. We all know that it's the devil's music.
Yeah,
but
of course.
it's I recommend it to anybody if you haven't seen it.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
The story of Robert Johnson
Yes,
selling his soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you haven't got time, do the YouTube thing.
Who was the lead actor in the movie?
The Karate Kid, whatever his name is. I would have rather seen Michael J. Fox, because it's an old movie. It's like the 80s.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the strong point in it. For me, it was just a beautiful story, the blues, and looking for the essence of the blues, and finding Robert Johnson's extra song. It's really worth checking out.
It's
Yeah, right.
fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Okay,
So we'll watch the documentary on Netflix, and you watch Crossroads.
that sounds like a plan. Definitely, definitely. All right, guys. Well, look, I appreciate you taking time out to have the chat.
It's been really fun, Kelvin.
Sure has. Look, good luck with the album. I hope it gets lots of plays on community radio.
Thank you.
I'm not in community radio myself, but I'll definitely be giving it a spin where I can.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank Marshall for passing it on.
Good.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him soon. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problems.
He does
guys.
all that promo for us, so we really appreciate it. Thank you, Marsh.
That's it. So, I'm hoping to get over. I've been meaning to get over that side of the country for the last 3 years, but the cost of bloody flights at the moment,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I used to do that flight a lot because I was playing in a band over there back in the late 90s. And I'll be flying over there for a few months, then coming back over here to see Neri and then flying back over there. And it's the old red-eye flights. It can take it out of you. And it wasn't cheap.
No.
But if you do come over, you got to come and see us. Come see the band. I'll take you out tonight. We'll see the sights.
That'd be fantastic, buddy. Thank you.
All right, then. Well, thanks for having us, Kelvin.
Thanks, Emma.